purpose of this video is for you to be able to, using sheets, to be able to create a scatter plot graph. A scatter plot graph is something that plots two numerical variables or values in order to show their relationship. Now, an example of a scatter plot and which variable is where is that here is kind of what it looks like. You're going to have your axes and you're going to have dots. It doesn't have to show an up relationship.
The summary committee is being held now in room 35.
Meaning it shouldn't have an increasing relationship as x increases, y increases. It could show a different one, but it's just basically you're going to have a bunch of points. This is your independent variable, your x-axis, and your dependent variable is on your y-axis. Now, the steps in sheets are, first thing you're going to do is you're going to enter your data in two columns, no variables, no units with your variables. And in your first column, it's always going to be your independent, and your second column is always your dependent. In sheets, it's going to look kind of like this: number of siblings and number of cavities. And you don't necessarily have to write this piece down in your notes. You can this image will be helpful when you go to actually take if you need help making it when it comes to that point. Now the next step is to highlight the data. So I have the data, now I'm going to highlight it. Now you notice I'm highlighting only the steps that only the data itself, not the empty empty cells around my data. Now the next step is to click the graph icon. It's this little thing over here. Here's my highlighted data that I entered, and then I'm just going to click on this graph icon. Now, I'm going to customize my graph. That means basically to set a range.
Panther chest and cupcakes are ready up in room 37 at this time.
Now, and I give it a title, and I'm going to label my axes with variable and unit. Now, I've clicked it in, and I need to choose a scatter plot. That's the one that looks like this, the one with the dots. And under here, it's under recommendations, is the drop-down menu. And then I click on customization. That's this tab. And then I use this scroll bar here to sort of do these things up here, like to set the range, to give it a title, to label the axes with variable and unit. Now, in sheets, it's going to look like this. Here, I've entered my data. It doesn't really matter where I enter it. It can be anywhere in the sheet. Then I've highlighted it. I click on the icon. Here it brings it up. Now you can see that this is saying, hey, it could be a bar graph. Hey, it could be these two linear graphs. Scatter plot looks like this in sheets. Then I click on customization. Now you can see it gave it a title. Let's say I wanted to make it something different, like this. It's kind of a lame title, but you might vary your title however you see fit. You can play with the font and make that really big. You can vary the color. And this scroll bar here allows me to get the other information on there. So let me say that again. This scroll bar here allows me to access the other points where I put in the other information. Here you see the word axis. There's the horizontal and the left vertical. All right? Here's where I type in the variable and their units. here's where I type mins and max. This is like the range. You can see that affects the data like that. The last thing to do is click insert. There you go.